Hi, I'm Kerry Watkins. I'm a BDM here at ECS. I'm here today with Joe Baguley from Broadcom.
Hi, and I'm Joe Baguley at Broadcom, and I'm the CTO for EMEA.
So we've got a few different topics today that we're going over, and one of those series is around VCF and how that cuts through complexity. So what I'd really like to understand, Joe, is what are the benefits of a unified full stack platform like VCF for partners and customers?
God, have you got 4 hours? It is about so if we look at what customers have problems with, it's really what we call the 3 C's, which is cost, complexity, and compliance, right? So VCF and what we've done with VCF 9 and beyond has been all about how we can help our customers actually, manage those. So how can we get them to deploy a private cloud platform that's more cost effective and better and cheaper than the public cloud? How can we get one that's much more about simpler to run, simpler to deploy, simpler to operate? So how do we meet that complexity piece? And obviously compliance is met not only by just running it on-prem, but also by having security inherent in the system. So rather than having all the complex different pieces that you try and plug together to build your cloud, having one coherent integrated cloud where everything's built to work together and everything operates together, clearly is going to be better than trying to build your own out of bits and pieces. But that's a whole separate topic about best of breed and why we shouldn't be doing that.
No, that's really interesting. And you mentioned cost savings there as well. So where would you find the real cost savings when it comes to VCF?
It's a few different places, and it really sort of depends on where you're trying to achieve cost savings. We've got the classic cost savings around reduction of hardware use you get from virtualization anywhere. We've got some awesome technology in VCF 9 around NVMe memory tiering. So it's a very long and complicated term. RAM is really expensive at the moment, and what we're enabling our customers to do is essentially page to disk is a good way to put it in the old days, where we can start to say, okay, well, you don't have to have as much RAM. We can start to stuff that's not being used as much start to page out. So from a hardware perspective, we're still helping our customers reduce cost as much as they possibly can. But then just in the operations, in the number of people you need to operate a private cloud, you can reduce your cost hugely. In the amount of time and effort it requires to deploy that private cloud, the amount of hardware you need to deploy. In every possible way, we're looking to how we can make it as simple and cheap as possible for someone to set up an incredibly powerful and versatile private cloud.
No, that's really interesting. And for the future of VCF, what does that look like for customers as well?
So we're really focused on what we can do to simplify things even further. So when you look at what we did with VCF 9 was really about how do we make that operations layer much easier for our customers? How can they deploy the platform, and how can they operate a private cloud with all the fleet management and other bits and pieces we put in there? I think going forward, we're going to look at how we can add a couple of things. How we can further simplify the architecture underneath, reduce the number of appliances, make it easier to deploy, make it easier to integrate with other things. But then on top of that, how can we start to introduce more and more services on top? So those platform type services that developers and application developers and just general consumers in the business would be looking for from a private cloud. So you can, again, get closer and closer to having everything you'd want from the public cloud, but on-prem, on your own terms, your own cost basis.
No, that's really great. Thank you.